And there we were, in the semis. We had all the grandeur of a team with high hopes. We were hoping to be the first ever French team in a World Cup final.
But France's winning streak meant they had to face opposition they all dreaded.
History cannot be forgotten, you know, even many, many years later. There was an edge to that game. There was something about it because it was France, Germany. And it had everything a good film would have in, you know, it's got plot lines, it's got your heroes, it's got your villains. And I think it's the match which has remained most graphically in the minds of the French people.
After an early goal by the Germans, the scores are levelled with a penalty from Platini. And it's at this point that the real drama begins. Harald Schumacher, the German goalkeeper, begins to take the game personally.
He was very, very aggressive from the start. In a way, I think Schumacher reflected the mood of the German team when they played against France generally. He knew France were playing well and thought a bit of aggression would do the trick.
Worse was to come. In the second half, French midfielder Gengini was replaced by Patrick Battiston. Battiston was to spend a mere 10 minutes on the pitch.
Platini released Battiston, who went for it on his own. The German defence was out of position and Schumacher had to come out. He was clearly beaten. He couldn't get the ball, so he went for the player instead. Everyone saw it. Both the players and the fans saw what happened. But the referee didn't seem to notice a thing.
The distraught French players run to the aid of their fallen teammate. Schumacher seems unconcerned.
We thought that Patrick had a serious problem, a really serious problem, and we thought that the referee should do something, but he didn't.
Although Battiston was knocked unconscious, lost teeth and had vertebrae broken, no penalty was awarded, no foul given, and Schumacher escapes without even a caution. Michel Hidalgo can't believe what has happened.
We had been the victims of a grave injustice. The match reignited the old Franco-German antagonism that wasn't there before the start of the match.
Schumacher remains unmoved, going as far as to taunt the French fans yet further. But the French team managed to regroup and push the game into extra time. Then a breakthrough comes from Marius Tresor. Six minutes later, Alain Giresse makes the score 3-1.
Même si j'avais 10 ans, je me souviens le but d'Alain Giresse.
Even though I was only 10, I remember Alain Giresse's goal. That's a really clear image for everyone, not only for French people, because I think that image went all the way around the world, because he had an anger and a desire when he scored the goal. When his little arms did this, that's the image that comes out of that World Cup.
Qui ressort de cette Coupe du Monde.
C'est moi qui marque le troisième but, ça fait 3-1, et quand je marque et que...
When I scored our third goal and got the score to 3-1, you see the way I celebrated. You could see that all of us believed we were in the finals of the World Cup.
C'est ce que l'on pense, on est en finale de la Coupe du Monde.
Yet the champagne would have to wait for another day as France allowed the Germans back into the game. 4 minutes after Giresse had scored, Rummenigge for the Germans beat the French defence to bring the score to 3-2.
The competition got very heated. The sun in Seville burns everything it touches, and the competition matched the heat that they're used to in Andalusia. At the same time, we felt the cold of Germany's calculating game.
As a tiring French side desperately tried to hold on, Fischer levelled the score in the 108th minute.
On a continué un petit peu à jouer, alors on a moins.
We should have been a little more calculating and put some thought into staying ahead. But that wasn't really our style.
At full time, the score remains level. The only option, penalty shootout. Platini offers the first penalty to Alain Giresse, who faces French public enemy number 1.
It was a very long distance to travel. It was only 30 or 40 metres, but it felt like kilometres to me.
C'était des kilomètres et des kilomètres pour moi.
My nerves were on edge. I was emotionally shattered. I tried not to look at the keeper, but that was really hard. I really didn't want to look at him, considering what he'd done to us during the game.
With the teams all square after 5 penalties, it's time for sudden death. Defender Maxime Bossis steps up for the most important shot of his life. All Germany have to do now is score.
Et ensuite, bon, il y a Horst-Roubaix.
And then comes Horst-Roubaix, all that France hates in Germany. Solid, hulking physical strength against French creativity and technique. And he is the one who delivers the last twist of the knife. And there, a dream collapses.
C'est un rêve qui s'effondre.
Just like the Copa-Fontaine World Cup team of 1958, the French had fallen at the penultimate hurdle. And France is once again relegated to team loser.
Avant le match, j'avais une équipe d'hommes. Before the match, I had a team of men who, once they put the French shirt on, looked bigger than their real size. After the game, they looked like a team of primary school kids. They were all crying like children in the dressing room. We had to force them to undress and get them into the showers. They were inconsolable.
Hidalgo suffered with his team, but there was less understanding when the players returned to their clubs in France. Many of the team played for Bordeaux when a young Aimé Jacquet was team manager.
Terrible, terrible.
I was furious, absolutely furious, because I was manager at Bordeaux, and I had some of my players in the team. I always said to them, when we have a 2-goal lead, it's a different kind of football. You have to know how to control the game, to stall, to destabilize the opponent. But when psychologically you think that 3-1 up against the best team of the world and you're in control, that's a mistake. It's unthinkable.
C'est impensable.
Aimé Jacquet was to learn more than most from that ill-fated day in Seville, and many regard the match as the turning point in French football.